real criminals. Right now, these guys are chasing everybody in this room, everybody you go to church with, everybody that you work with, everybody on the freeway when you're sitting there in the parking lot trying to go to work in the morning. They chase every single one of those people. You're next. Under the fair tax, send them across the street to the Department of Homeland Security. They can chase terrorists. We have not even scratched the surface of terrorist money flows in this planet. Send them to the DEA. Let them chase drug dealers all day long. We caught Al Capone through the income tax system. You can catch drug dealers because they're not going to charge the federally mandated sales tax when they sell cocaine, okay? That's where those people can go. Not to mention the fact that 60% of them are going to retire in the next 10 years anyway. You just don't have to replace them. Now, as far as CPAs and those guys, we've had tremendous support from the large CPA firms because they know the economy will expand rapidly. They will have more business to do than they've ever seen before. They would love to shut down their tax practices, which are very expensive, low margin, and high liability. They want to move all those people into their audit, into their accounting, into the consulting that they do. We have no resistance whatsoever. H&R Block doesn't like us, but the large consulting firms, the large CPA firms do. Yes, sir?
It's kind of a comment on that. I'm an economy major. You're going to ask my college.
Say again now?
I'm an economy major.
An accounting major, great.
And I asked my college professor that question. And he said that the demand for accountants, even besides that, is so great, we can't even meet the demands now. So he said don't worry about it. But plus, if you get rid of the income tax, then they're going to want more accountants anyway to work out their budgets and stuff like that. It's going to grow. Anyway, so.
I agree with a college professor. I can't believe it. I think that may be a first for me. So I absolutely agree. And that is our experience with the large accounting firms, with the exception of PricewaterhouseCoopers. They don't like us. Yes, young lady.
So, have you ever considered doing like a study in a town, just have like a test run of it so that you can try and find that study consequences?
Have we ever done a study or done a test in a place where we could try and find unintended consequences of the fair tax? The way that question is usually asked is by somebody who doesn't like the fair tax, and they usually say to me, now Tom, is there any nation in the world that does this? I mean, give me a break. Does anyone actually do this? And I say to them, with a smile on my face always, two of the largest economies in the world, two of the top 20 economies in the world, Texas and Florida. No income tax, only sales taxes. There are some of the states that have the least effect when we go into recessions and come out of recessions the fastest. Now, to answer the question directly, England, at the end of the Napoleonic War, with Waterloo, Napoleon's beaten, the Parliament actually repealed the hated, the detested Napoleonic income tax, as they promised they would. Politicians made a promise, and they actually did it. Whoa, could be a first on planet Earth. Okay, the repealing of that income tax put England strictly on a consumption tax basis. It led to the largest economic expansion in the history of the British Empire. It led to England running this planet until what? Karl Marx and his Communist Manifesto became popular among the elite in England, and they put in a heavy, progressive income tax. I'm quoting the Communist Manifesto here. And they made estates hard to inherit, also in the Communist Manifesto. And that's what halted the expansion of the British Empire. In answer to your question directly, nobody's done it because you've got to have a large enough area to figure it out. But I would suggest that Texas and Florida are pretty good test beds, and those are two states with the best economies in the U.S., even under current circumstances. Yes, sir?
One question, does Texas and Florida have a process?
Yes.
So,
And we'll still have property taxes locally. That's a local tax, not a federal
That's
tax.
my only concern. With the fair tax in federal, it sounds great.
Mhm.
You know, we have our county legislatures, they just continue, we're in economic downturn, and they say, let's raise taxes. What makes them not do that? I understand it's more competitive and people need to get the states.
I don't know what to tell you as I watch this. The thing that brought us out of the Depression was not any of the spending and all the things that Roosevelt did. What brought us out of the Depression was the expansion of radio as a medium and advertising on that radio encouraging and getting American consumers to go buy soap and go buy this and go buy that. And then we got World War II. So those are the two things. Usually most people don't recognize the effect of media and what it really did to bring us out of the Depression. And it's almost as if right now Congress is using the playbook from FDR, which is a known failed playbook. I mean, we've already seen socialism fail, communism fail, everywhere in the world. Why are we doing these things? Good question. But we can't legislate around it. We can only grassroots lobby around it. We can only keep hammering and electing people who make more sense. Sorry, I don't have a better answer. So you had more questions, but I'm going to answer this one. Did I answer that one as best I could? Okay. I'm going to take this one, then I'll come back to you.
Still in the process of being educated. My daughter's only partially educated me so far. So
It's that generation gap, that lack of communication. Yeah.
There's a few aspects to it. There's one thing which you said, which you started these potential market distortion,
Mm-hmm.
and I misheard something, so I'll ask exactly for clarification on it. And I think you said purchasing of used goods, such as cars and houses, are not taxed in the paid tax.
That's correct.
Right, but that to me would lead for market distortion, because for two aspects. One, it would discourage the purchase of new goods, particularly high-end goods like cars and houses. So, what would happen in that market in terms of, there's a great business out of to buy a new car, to buy a new house. And it would actually make buying a new house a very expensive proposition, so it would actually drive up the value of a used house, which is kind of an odd market distortion.
Okay. So the thought is that the fair tax is only levied on new goods and services, not on used. We only give the government one bite at the apple. The government doesn't get to keep biting on us each time a used car moves through the market. Does that distort the market? Here's why it actually makes the market more honest and undistorted. First of all, whenever you buy anything, when I bought this coat, I paid the corporate taxes for the guys who made the coat, right? I paid their corporate taxes in the price of the coat, and the corporate taxes of the retailer, and the corporate taxes of the farmer. I paid their Social Security matching. I paid for their army of lawyers and CPAs. I paid all those things when I bought this coat. Actually, this coat was given to me by my sisters, but somebody had to buy it. All those are gone. All those costs are gone. They're over. They're history. So now, what's going to determine the cost of this coat? Well, strictly competition, and then I'm going to pay the tax. And I'll choose to buy whatever kind of coat I buy. So the price of this coat won't be different. We're not raising taxes here. This is a revenue-neutral proposal. We're only trying to give the government exactly the same amount of money it gets today. Now, if I tried to slip in higher taxes at the same time I did the fair tax, the cost of the new coat would go up. But that's because I pulled a fast one, I lied to you, and I raised taxes. Well, this is a revenue-neutral proposal. We're just changing the collection system, not raising or lowering taxes. So, all those costs come out. So now I'm going to go buy a new house. Well, the guys who made the roofing materials didn't pay corporate taxes. The guys who made the cement didn't pay corporate taxes. The cost of building that house is down 20 or 30%. I didn't say the retail price is down 20 or 30%. That's going to be determined by competition.